Alright, now, Exodus 31 through 35. Um, Moses is still on the mount, and the God's telling him about the instructions and of building the tabernacle, and about the laws, and about the Ten Commandments and all that. He said who's going to be the builders of what tribe, and the signs of the Sabbath. They'll work 6 days, and on the seventh day they won't do nothing because it's holy, and if any man breaks the Sabbath, he'll be put to death. So now, the people saw that Moses delayed to come down from the mount. So they gathered to Aaron and said, "Make us gods, which shall go before us. For as Moses, we don't know what happened to him." So they got all their gold earrings and all that, and Aaron made them a molten calf. So they worshipped it. And then God told Moses, "Go get down, for your people has corrupted themselves. They've turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. And they made a molten calf and worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought you out of Egypt." The Lord told Moses the people's a stiff-necked, and he wanted to kill them. He wanted to consume them, and he'll make Moses a great nation. But Moses told him, don't let your anger wax hot, because you brought them out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Wherefore, if you kill them, the Egyptians say you did mischief to the people. And then, told him to remember his promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to not kill them. So the Lord repented of evil which he thought to do to the people. That's twice the Lord had repented. He repented after the flood for destroying the earth and flooding the earth because of the man. Then he repented because of he's wanting to kill the people. So Moses goes down, and he has the tables of stone, which was engraved, the Lord engraved, of the commandments and the laws and all that, which they had to memorize. And you think about this. These people had to live by that, and it's so hard to live by the law. I mean, if we was living then, we'd have been dead. We'd have been stoned, killed, everything. And even today, it's hard to be a Christian. It's hard to serve God and to stay true to Him and to live right according to His Word and to flee temptation. But yet, it's so easy for people to be Muslims. It's so easy for people to be Catholic. It's so easy for people to participate in all these religions. It's like they don't have a hard time at all. And I believe this gives me proof that serving God is real, because the devil's not out there tempting them to turn away from their faith. He's not there bringing temptation upon them to fall from their religious beliefs or their faiths or, their spiritual beliefs and all that. So why is it so hard for people to serve God and to be a Christian and live by His Word? And it's not hard for the rest of the other people in their faith and beliefs to live by their Word that they believe in. So they go down, and Moses saw that the people was naked. And he came and he stood at the gate of the camp and asked them, "Who's on the Lord's side? Let him come to me." So all the Levites went, and then they drew their swords and killed about 3,000 men. And Moses went back up to the mountain, asked God to forgive him and, blot me out if not, and all this. And God basically told him, whoever sinned against me, I'll blot him out of my book. So basically, we're all accountable for ourselves. So then the Lord told Moses to depart and go hence, and the people which are brought up with him out of the land of Egypt, and he'll take them to the land which he promised unto Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. An angel will go before them and fight their battles for them, to land flowing with milk and honey. And then he told them that they're a stiff-necked people, and I'll consume you in the way. And the people heard of the evil tidings, and they mourned, and no man did put him on his ornaments. They were scared. I mean, they physically saw God, His power, and they turned away. And like us, we turn away anyway, and we didn't even seen God. And we were like, well, if we, what makes us think we wouldn't turn away if we just seen His power too? And then they set the tabernacle up outside the camp or whatever, and the cloud covered the tabernacle. And then Moses said his prayer. And, praised to God and stuff. And God wanted this. Moses wanted to see Him. He said he wanted to see Him, physically see Him. Because all he seen was just the cloud, I guess, and heard His voice. And physically heard His voice as a man talks to another man. So then His glory appeared, and He stood in the cleft of the rock, and then God passed by, and Moses seen His backside, but he didn't see His face, because he'd have died, because His face is so powerful. So the covenant's renewed now, and the Lord passed by before him and proclaimed, The Lord God, merciful and gracious, long-suffering, abundant in goodness and truth, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children's children, unto the third and to the fourth generations. Moses bowed down toward the earth and worshipped. God made a covenant. He'll drive out the people, and they would receive the land for the inheritance. And then goes on about the feast of unleavened bread and the first fruits and all that. And they told them, don't make a covenant with the land, with the people in the land, because they'll go whoring after their gods and do sacrificing to the gods and eat of the sacrifices. So that's why they didn't want them to marry into each other's families there at that time, because of the religious beliefs and all that. They didn't want them to get caught up in their religious and turn to other gods, which is what happened. And then now it's the construction of the tabernacle, instruction of the people, asking them to give willingly and telling them what all to give to start building the tabernacle. And then out of certain people, God gave them wisdom to do the things like building the stones and hewing the stones and making the metal and the wood and the curtains and all that. So that's 31 through 35.